Hey guys, so I know I started the topic, the title is all about stocks by request and the stocks that have moved very, very well over the past trading day. But I want to show you this, and this is so consistent with the videos that I have been making that one of the biggest industries that will be hit is the tourism and transportation industry, where Cebu Pacific is right smack in the middle of it. If you look at it, Cebu Pacific, it's not just that it broke down from this level of support. There was heavy selling here, but on Friday it gapped down and it opened at the 144 level only to close at around the 48 peso level. So Cebu Pacific is massively, massively hit. It's massively in a downtrend. It was even lower than the error that happened here last July 2019. If you zoom out further to see how far and how low it could possibly go, it was over here. The last time we saw it hit this level was 2014, and the next support that we could possibly see right now is the 38 peso level. So why am I saying this? The narrative and the technique during markets like this, when there's a lot of fear, one of the things that you could actually do is you will see people panic a lot. Aside from them panicking a lot, the companies that are perceived to be the ones that will get hit the most will be the ones that you will see a lot of selling already. Now, just to note also, if you look at Cebu Pacific, you will essentially see that from its highest, which it hit, this was around 2016. It's already down 57%. The lowest that it has ever been was around, this was 2014 at 37 pesos per share, which places it at 64% down. Please remember, Cebu Pacific's IPO, when it happened 2010, it over the course of the decade, it just went back to close to its IPO. Then it hasn't trended higher, and that's a narrative for Cebu Pacific, no, and for airline companies, is that they're heavily influenced by oil. They're heavily influenced by a lot of factors, and especially when there's a lot of crisis, people will skimp off traveling. The difference with this from the 2008 financial crisis is that a lot of people were skimping off from traveling because they were trying to save money. A lot of people were skimping off from travel because they wanted to stay liquid in cash because they did not know what will happen to their jobs, etc. And the same way with businesses as well. A lot of the businesses started to go online instead of doing a lot of meetings at different places. They did a lot of teleconferencing, and a lot of businesses also tried to save money off of it. They tried to not travel as much. That's why the airline industry was down. But this is a different story. It's not just that people are trying to skimp off, trying to save from travel. It's just that because of what's happening, people are scared to go out. Since they're scared to go out, airlines, you will see a lot of people not travel. You've already seen a lot of cancellations that has happened, and this will cost the not just the Philippine airline industry a lot of money. This will cause a lot of airlines around the world to get hit as well, and the impact of this will be very, very big. And I've been mentioning this over and over. When tourism gets hit, there's a lot of people that will get hit, from hotels, restaurants, department stores, grocery chains, tour companies, vans, tour guides, service providers, etc. And then the airline industry also, since there will be lesser routes, there will be a lot of people who may lose jobs and all of this, plus all of the things that they have to refund. Please remember, the Philippines just started its lockdown today, meaning that's a lot of potential business that will be lost. So the drop that we're seeing here, it just factors in everything that happened in the past, but we still have not seen what could possibly happen in the future. And if you've been looking at the news, look at what's happening in Europe. They're starting to lock down more cities there. More cities being locked down, you can expect lesser transactions, lesser sources of revenue for a lot of people as well. So just to give you context, Cebu Pacific bounced from the support at the 45.25 level. If it bounces off of that, the next possible support, and you can see it very, very, the next possible resistance, and you can see it very, very clear here, should be around the 56.6, or around the 57 peso level for the short term. If it does not hold, your next possible narrative, your next possible support is at the 37.8 level. And allow me to put this on. These are the moving averages that we have for Cebu Pacific. As you can see, it's really a great way off still. For us to see a reversal from a moving average point of view, it would be nice and it would be prudent if there was there was more and more and more, the moving averages would have been closer to the price, but we're not yet there, meaning we're still very far from a consolidation for Cebu Pacific. So it may be a rough road ahead. One glimmer of hope, that, though, for Cebu Pacific is basically this: oil prices are lower, meaning it may offset some of their costs as well. So they will have lesser sales, they will have lesser transactions, they will have lesser revenue, but um, it may help and it may protect their bottom line, since it costs them little or lesser to be able to, for gas. As you all know, fuel costs are a large chunk of the cost of airline companies. I think it's around 50% of their costs as well. So that's something that is a bit positive for them. And one thing that we need also to consider is that, aside from passengers, they also have cargo. Cargo is a large part also of their revenue. But one thing we need to consider is this: since China is on lockdown, there are a lot of factories, there are a lot of trades that are not happening there as well. So exports imports may not be as robust as what we've seen over the past years, and that's why Cebu Pacific is right smack in the middle of all of this. Cebu Pacific is right smack in the middle of this being hit as well. So there, for those who sent so many questions about airline companies, this is my take on Cebu Pacific. I just like to add, let's just look at PAL na rin, in the same stroke, so that at least you guys have a very, very clear look on how PAL is as well. For PAL naman, it's been, if you notice this looks like a very, very steep downtrend also from here. If you point it from this area, after it, if you put a support level here, after it broke down last March 2019, this was a critical area for PAL. Please remember, prior to this coronavirus, prior to this issue, PAL was losing money because it was trying to upgrade a lot of its facilities, and it was banking on that, hey, there might be better transactions, more tourism coming into the Philippines as well. And they've been trying to upgrade from a 4-star to 5-star carrier. That was their goal and their plan. But since they're losing money, I think, plus what's happening today, this will dampen the fundamentals of the stock even more as well. So very, very clear. The stock is in a downtrend, and if I'll try to put this also, you can put at the 6.8 peso level. PAL has started to break down already last February as well. So if you note this, here are the next possible support levels for PAL. If I try to zoom, I try to put it here, there. These are the next support and retracement levels for for PAL. So 6.23, 5.29, 4.7, 3.65. So next possible support for PAL is the 5.3 level. It's still bearish, short, mid, and long term. And I highly suggest this for a lot of people in the airline industry, or even if you're not in the airline industry, but you think this is applicable to you. It would be very, very important right now to simplify your life, to simplify your way of living. Do not spend as much yet. Do not spend a lot of money, because we don't know how long will this last. And as long as tourism will be down, transport will be down as well. It would be very, very prudent. Uh, it would be very, very wise to have a very, very basic living and store up and shore up with cash. You need a lot of cash that will protect you in times of this. You need a lot of cash that when income is not coming in as high, you have something that you can use. You have something that will allow you to spend and live a normal life, and for you to be able to think. And my suggestion also, for those who, for ground staff that are not going to the office, use this time also to pivot. Use this time to learn new skills. Use this time to build your abilities, that from this uncertainty, from this issue, from this crisis, there can be ways for you, in order for you to be able to adapt, innovate, and also come out winning. Please remember, some of the greatest business ideas come during times of crisis. Some of the greatest business ideas come during times of calamity. And I highly suggest, try to use this opportunity to find ways on how you can pivot and how you can still come out on top. This is a curveball for 2020. This is something that we did not expect. This is something that no one thought that it would possibly happen at the start of the year. But we're here right now. The best thing that you can do is try to find ways on how you can pivot, how you can shift, and how you can stay afloat in times like this. So for Cebu Pacific, for PAL, they are the most hit, they're the most susceptible, they're the most battered. Would be very, very important that you stay in cash while you see while while things start to I guess get better for them, there's still no signs of reversal yet. And from a fundamental perspective, it's quite obvious that they're the most that will get hit all the more in all of this. So I started off, I said this will be the stocks that have moved up because of the 2010, because of all of the selling that happened over the past few days. But I just felt I needed to share this because I got a lot of messages from flight attendants asking about their status, asking about how things will be. So this is me just analyzing their companies as well, and also just a quick reminder that above and beyond investing, personal finance is so important. That's why finance should be personal, because you need to know your bottom line. You need to know how you protect yourself in times of crisis. You need to know how you can win when times like this would happen as well. So I guess that's it for now. I hope that this is something that gave you enough insight also uh, in analyzing why airline companies are gonna do so bad. And again, over and over, it's harder to predict gas prices, harder to predict how people will travel, especially when there's types of fear. That's why it's very very important to look at it from a global economic perspective also, and where the money's going. What's very very sure is people are not going are not gonna travel. And until we see that change, until we see that shift, there might be a very, 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 very long time before we see them start to become as profitable as it can be. But rest assured, when I see signs already that hey, domestic and international travel have started to pick up again, so we also have to consider that even if borders open, we have to bring back consumer confidence. We have to bring back confidence in people that it's okay to travel back again. So it doesn't mean when borders open, people are going to travel massively already. We have to see that the global fear of this pandemic would be out as well. But I'll say this over and over: do not let fear allow you to shift the way you live. You live out of wisdom, you live out of faith, you live out of logic, you live out of about protecting yourself, but in the same way, not causing yourself to shy away and be scared as well. So that's it for now. I'm gonna do the stocks that moved up in the next video after this. So if this is coming out around 6 p.m. today, expect the other video to be around 8 p.m. So this is Marvin Germo. By the way, if you're new to this channel, super appreciate it if you could subscribe and you can like and you can put the thumbs up in, because that will super help more and more Filipinos get to see this video, because we really want to create an awareness of investing. We really want to create an awareness of personal finance in the lives of a lot of Filipinos as well. And that's the reason why I've been hammering and doing a lot of daily videos. That's the reason why I've been spending the greatest years of my life trying to educate people as well, because I really believe this is so important at such a time as this. So super appreciate it. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell. By the way, I'm Marvin Gurma. I'm a stock market trader and investor. And over the past decade, I've been investing and I've seen different cycles, different drops, different movements in the market, that I hope that the wisdom I impart to all of you is something that can help you also, so that you can reach your goals of financial freedom. So we're at the 13-minute mark. Comment below if you stayed up until the 13-minute mark. Comment 13-minute mark if you did. But thank you so much for all of you who've joined this, and I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, guys, and God bless you all.